Welcome to Rare Coins Numix. Some quarters are worth more than just 25 cents, much more. In fact, a few Washington quarters have become some of the most sought-after coins in the entire U.S. collection scene. Make sure to watch till the end, you might be surprised which quarters are still hiding in plain sight. Some coins look like everyday change at first glance, but a closer look reveals something far more special. The kind of coin that carries not just design and metal, but meaning, history, and value far beyond its face. One such coin has quietly become a modern standout in American coinage, the 2022 Washington Quarter featuring Maya Angelou. It's part of the U.S. Mint's American Women Quarters program, an initiative created to honor women who have made lasting contributions to the country in fields like science, government, civil rights, and the arts. Maya Angelou's inclusion as the very first figure in this series wasn't just significant, it was powerful. She was a poet, an activist, and a voice of courage and hope, and now her story is told through this small but deeply meaningful piece of metal. At first glance, this quarter seems like the others in your change jar. But take a closer look, and you'll see just how distinct it really is. On the obverse is George Washington, but not the version we've seen for decades. Instead, the coin uses a right-facing portrait originally designed in 1932 by Laura Garden Fraser. Though her work was passed over at the time, it finally got its moment in 2022, bringing a fresh yet classic look to the front of the quarter. Then there's the reverse, the side that's making all the headlines. Maya Angelou is shown with her arms raised upward, as a bird takes flight behind her and rays of sun extend across the design. It's a striking image inspired by the themes of freedom and spirit that ran through much of her life and writing. Collectors and historians alike have praised the artwork, saying it captures more than just a likeness, it captures her energy. These quarters were produced at 3 U.S. Mint locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The majority entered regular circulation, while others were included in special collector sets. That means the coin is out there, being spent, traded, stored, or possibly sitting in a drawer unnoticed. But here's the thing, not all Maya Angelou quarters are equal. The value of a coin like this doesn't only come from its design or meaning. It comes from condition, how well it was struck, how carefully it's been preserved, and how flawless it appears under magnification. Collectors are always searching for what's called a high-grade coin. That means it shows no signs of wear, has a clean surface, strong detail, and still reflects the original mint luster. Some of the most desirable versions are those that were pulled straight from mint rolls or sets before they had any chance to be handled. These coins are often submitted to grading services like PCGS or NGC, where experts assess their condition on a scale from 1 to 70. Only coins that score 67, 68, or even 69 make it into the upper tier, and those are the ones collectors compete for. A bonus for collectors is the first strike or early release label. These tags are given to coins that were received by the grading service within a certain window after the mint's release. When paired with a high grade, these early examples are especially attractive to serious numismatists building premium sets. It's worth noting that while the coin is modern, its cultural weight is anything but small. Maya Angelou wasn't just a writer, she was a symbol of perseverance, creativity, and progress. That makes this quarter a piece of modern American history. Its popularity isn't only driven by numismatics, it's also fueled by people who want to own a tribute to her life and message. As the American Women Quarter series continues, early releases like this one are expected to become key pieces for full-set collectors. These coins are not just about completing a collection, they represent stories and milestones that continue to resonate, and now comes the part that surprises many, the market. While most of these coins are worth their face value in regular condition, a top-grade, certified Maya Angelou quarter has already sold for as much as $34,000. That's right, $34,000 for a 25-cent coin, simply because of its exceptional condition and rarity among its peers. That's what makes this coin so fascinating. It's accessible, recent, and still very much in circulation, but hidden within those millions are a few exceptional examples that can be worth a fortune. If you've picked up change recently, checked a roll of quarters, or received coins from a bank, there's always a chance you're holding something valuable and you don't even know it yet. Coins like the Maya Angelou quarter prove that value isn't just about age, it's about detail, rarity, and timing. And in this case, it's also about honoring someone whose influence still echoes around the world. For collectors, this coin offers both an emotional connection and a smart investment. It's a reminder that sometimes, history and value come together in the most unexpected places. And while most people might overlook a quarter, this one stands out for its story and its growing market demand. Keep in mind, though, that not every Maya Angelou quarter will be worth thousands. Condition is key, and many coins in circulation will only hold their face value. But if you have one that's sharp, shiny, and certified, it could be a prized piece in your collection. So keep an eye out, and if you find one, consider getting it professionally graded to see just how special it really is. There's still much more to uncover, so stick around. More rare and valuable coins are coming up next, and you won't want to miss what's waiting just around the corner. Let's move on to the 2021 Washington quarter featuring the Crossing the Delaware design. This coin honors one of the most pivotal moments in American history, a story of courage, determination, and strategic brilliance that changed the course of the Revolutionary War. It's part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which was created to celebrate the natural beauty and historic landmarks across the United States. However, this quarter goes beyond just showcasing a landmark, it commemorates a defining event that embodies the spirit of American perseverance. On the cold, snowy night of December 25, 1776, General George Washington led a daring mission across the icy Delaware River. His troops faced freezing temperatures, treacherous currents, and the constant threat of discovery by British forces. Yet, Washington's decision to cross the river under such perilous conditions was a bold gamble that paid off. The surprise attack on the Hessian troops stationed in Trenton, New Jersey, was a stunning victory that reinvigorated the Continental Army and lifted the spirits of the American people when hope was running thin. The design on this quarter beautifully captures that historic night. Washington is shown standing tall at the front of a small rowboat, his posture calm but purposeful. Surrounding him are his soldiers, bundled against the cold, gripping their oars as the boat slices through choppy, icy waters. The ripples of the river, the textures of the soldiers' coats, and the determined faces of the men are intricately rendered, conveying both the physical challenge and the emotional weight of that night. Each element of the design contributes to the storytelling. The rough waters emphasize the danger of the crossing, while Washington's steady stance symbolizes leadership and resolve. The quarter becomes more than currency, it is a miniature work of art that transports the viewer back in time. The coin was minted at the Philadelphia and Denver facilities, with millions released into circulation. This means that while the Crossing the Delaware quarter is widely available, the key to its collectible value lies in its condition. Coins that retain their original mint luster, sharp design details, and are free from wear or damage are much more valuable to collectors. Professional coin grading plays a major role in determining a coin's worth. Services like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, assign grades based on factors such as surface preservation, strike quality, and eye appeal. High-grade coins, especially those graded mint state 67 or above, are rare and command higher prices. The first strike or early release labels add further prestige, as these coins were struck early in the production process, often resulting in superior details. Collectors appreciate this quarter not only for its beautiful design but also for its historical significance. It's a piece that tells a story of leadership, risk-taking, and hope, a narrative that resonates deeply with Americans and history enthusiasts. The quarter also serves as a key component for those completing the America the Beautiful series, making it highly sought after in that community. In addition to grading and condition, the specific mint mark on a quarter can impact its rarity and value. Some mint locations produced fewer coins or coins of differing quality, and collectors often seek out these variations. Keeping an eye out for such details can help collectors identify potentially more valuable examples. Despite millions of these quarters circulating, pristine specimens are uncommon. That means coins preserved in mint condition today could become increasingly valuable over time. The demand for such coins often grows as collectors look to fill gaps in their collections with quality examples. If you come across a 2021 Crossing the Delaware quarter in excellent condition, consider having it professionally graded. A certified coin can stand out in the market and attract collectors willing to pay premiums for coins with verified high quality and designation. Beyond its monetary value, this coin is a reminder that coins are more than just money. They are keepsakes, educational tools, and art forms that connect us to important chapters in our shared history. The story of Washington's crossing continues to inspire, and this coin helps keep that legacy alive in a tangible way. For those interested in collecting, it's helpful to handle coins with care to maintain their condition. Using gloves, storing coins in protective holders, and avoiding exposure to harsh environments can preserve their value and beauty. Learning about grading scales and mint marks also deepens your appreciation and can aid in identifying coins worth preserving. Even though this quarter is relatively new, its message and design give it lasting appeal. Many seasoned collectors see it as a future classic. It's a modern coin that bridges the past and present with a message of resilience that never fades. So, the next time you come across a Washington quarter, especially one from 2021 featuring this historic design, take a moment to examine it closely. You might find yourself holding a coin that tells a powerful story and could be a valuable addition to a collection. Up next is a coin that might seem like just another quarter from the 1980s, but collectors know there's a lot more beneath the surface. It's the 1987 Washington quarter, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, marked by the subtle but important P Mint mark. This coin has gained attention over the years for reasons that go far beyond its face value, and for those lucky enough to find one in exceptional condition, it could be worth thousands of dollars. The Washington quarter has long been a staple of U.S. coinage. Its design has remained largely consistent for decades, and while it might not have flashy visuals like more modern commemorative coins, it represents a significant era in American numismatic history. By 1987, the Washington quarter had already been in production for 55 years, first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. The design is simple, elegant, and steeped in tradition. On the obverse, or front side of the coin, we see a profile of George Washington, facing left. This portrait, created by sculptor John Flanagan, was based on a bust made in the 18th century by French artist Jean-Antoine Houdon. It's a clean and powerful image, not overly complex, but undeniably iconic. The word Liberty appears above Washington's head, with the date 1987 below. To the right is the P Mint mark, denoting it was minted in Philadelphia. On the reverse side is a bold depiction of a heraldic eagle, its wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below. This design represents the duality of strength and peace, a classic American symbol. The words United States of America and E pluribus unum appear above the eagle, while quarter dollar sits below. At first glance, the 1987 quarter seems like any other. But this is where condition, rarity, and subtle variations make all the difference. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 600 million of these coins in 1987, so they're not rare in terms of mintage. What makes them special is what has happened to most of them since. They've been used, worn down, and circulated endlessly. Nearly every 1987 quarter you come across today will show some signs of wear. That's why uncirculated or high-grade examples are so valuable. Most people never set aside coins from everyday change unless they're noticeably old or unusual. But for those who did save pristine examples of the 1987 P quarter, maybe pulled from a mint set or stored away by chance, those coins can now be incredibly desirable to collectors. Grading plays a critical role in determining just how valuable a coin is. The Sheldon coin grading scale ranges from 1 to 70. A coin in mint state 60 may look relatively clean, but higher grades like MS 66, MS 67, or even MS 68 represent coins with exceptional detail, strong luster, and virtually no signs of handling or contact. Those upper-grade examples are very difficult to come by, especially for a coin that wasn't originally intended to be saved. Collectors also pay attention to strike quality. That refers to how sharply the coin's design was imprinted during minting. A weak strike might result in soft details, especially on Washington's hair or the eagle's feathers. A strong strike, however, produces crisp lines, deep definition, and better overall eye appeal. Combine that with a clean surface and good luster, and suddenly, a common coin becomes a standout. Error coins are another layer of interest. Though less common in the late 80s due to improved quality control, errors still made it out of the mint. That includes doubled dies, where elements of the design appear doubled due to a misalignment during striking. Off-center strikes, die cracks, or clipped planchets are also possibilities. These types of errors can raise a coin's value dramatically, especially when paired with high grades. Even without errors, collectors value coins like the 1987 P because they represent a snapshot of a specific era. This was the end of a relatively quiet period in U.S. coin design, before the launch of the 50-state quarters program in 1999, which would eventually introduce brand new reverse designs every few months. The late 1980s are sometimes overlooked, but they're gaining attention for just that reason. They're part of an era before collecting modern circulating coins became more mainstream. There's also a growing market for top population coins, those at the very top of the grading scale for their year and mint. In the case of the 1987 P quarter, coins graded MS 67 or higher with strong eye appeal are among the best examples known. Fewer than a handful exist at that level, and that scarcity is what drives serious interest among collectors. What's even more exciting is that coins like this can sometimes be found in unexpected places. They've turned up in old coin folders, rolls stored away in drawers, or even loose in mint-issued sets that were never opened. That's what makes hunting for modern-era coins so appealing, the possibility that you might discover something truly rare tucked away in an ordinary spot. It also highlights the importance of coin care. If you think you found a well-preserved 1987 P quarter, handle it carefully. Use gloves or hold it by the edges to avoid fingerprints. Consider submitting it to a professional grading service if you believe it may qualify as a high-grade example. Even a single grade difference can significantly affect value in the collector market. Now, here's the part that really grabs attention. A pristine 1987 P Washington quarter, preserved in exceptional condition, professionally graded, and recognized for its near-perfect quality, has been known to reach a staggering value of $68,000. Let's talk about a coin that's often overlooked but could be hiding significant value right in plain sight, the 1980 Washington quarter struck at the Philadelphia Mint. You've probably held this coin dozens of times without thinking much of it. But under the right conditions, this seemingly ordinary quarter could be one of the most valuable coins from its era. It's the kind of coin that reminds collectors why it's always worth taking a second look at your change. The 1980s marked an important period in U.S. coin history. It was a time of steady production, technological advancement at the mints, and a shift toward modern coinage practices. While many coins from the decade were produced in high quantities, certain examples, especially those in exceptional condition or with unique characteristics, have become prized collectors' items over the years. The 1980 Washington quarter continues the traditional design that had been in place since 1932. On the obverse, you'll find the left-facing profile of George Washington, first sculpted by John Flanagan. His depiction of the first U.S. president had become a staple of American coinage, embodying leadership, dignity, and timeless design. The words, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," frame the portrait, along with the date, 1980, at the bottom. Just to the right of Washington's ponytail is a subtle but meaningful detail, the P mint mark, showing this coin was struck in Philadelphia. On the reverse, the heraldic eagle stands proud with wings outstretched, perched on a bundle of arrows, and surrounded by olive branches. Above the eagle, the phrase, "United States of America," is arched along the rim, while "E pluribus unum" sits just below it. At the bottom, $quarter reminds us of its face value, but that's where the story just begins. In terms of mintage, the 1980 P quarter isn't rare in the traditional sense. The Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of these coins for circulation, roughly 635 million, to be more specific. That means the coin itself is easy to find. What's not easy to find, however, is one that has survived the decades in flawless condition, untouched, uncirculated, and preserved in a way that makes it stand out from the rest. Coins that enter circulation typically show wear within weeks, if not days. Small scratches, dings, and loss of luster are part of everyday life for circulating coinage. So, when a coin like the 1980 P quarter surfaces in pristine mint state condition, especially with a high grade like MS-66 or MS-67, it becomes something truly special. Collectors and grading services pay close attention to a coin's strike quality. On quarters, they look for strong, crisp details in Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and clean, reflective surfaces. A weak strike or signs of wear can greatly reduce value. But a well-struck, uncirculated coin with full luster and no distracting marks can earn top grades and high demand. That there's also the factor of population. How many high-grade examples are known to exist? Even if millions of coins were minted, only a tiny fraction will have survived in top condition. Grading services like PCGS and NGC maintain population reports, and for coins like the 1980 P quarter, the number of surviving MS-67 or higher specimens is extremely low. That scarcity at the high end is what drives the coin's market value. Another fascinating aspect is the hunt for mint errors. The 1980 P quarter has shown up with a few known varieties, including off-center strikes, double dies, and die cracks. While not extremely common, these error coins add another layer of interest. A 1980 P with a visible and documented error, especially in mint state, can easily fetch a premium price due to its uniqueness. Some examples have also been found with what's called a full strike, a coin where all design elements appear bold and complete. Full strikes are especially important in coins from the late 20th century, where production speed sometimes came at the expense of sharpness. A fully struck 1980 P with clean surfaces and no signs of handling is a true standout. Collectors often search old mint sets, original rolls, and even forgotten coin folders in hopes of finding a gem. Many of these coins were pulled from circulation over the years and stored away, but very few were ever sent in for grading. That's why when a high-grade example appears at auction, it gets attention quickly. It's not just the grade that matters, it's how few coins at that level exist. Over time, coins like the 1980 P quarter have become more desirable among collectors who focus on registry sets, collections where only the highest graded examples of each coin are included. These collectors are always on the lookout for upgrades, and when a top-tier coin hits the market, bidding can get competitive fast. Now here comes the part that surprises most people. While the average 1980 quarter you find in change is worth exactly 25 cents, a perfect or near-perfect example, one that has been graded mint state 67 or better, can bring in serious money. In fact, one such 1980 P quarter, certified at an elite grade, was valued at an incredible $83,000. That's right, $83,000 for a coin you could easily miss if you weren't looking closely. It's rare, of course. Most of the coins from this year and mint are not worth much above face value, especially if they show wear. But the finest known examples, preserved like time capsules from a different era, are the exceptions that prove the rule.